What is going on, guys? Rango Mango 12 here, and we have Secret Wars issue 7, and this is what we'll be reviewing today. Now, we're not going to waste any time on this, we're actually just going to jump into it straight away, but before we do so, I just want to give you guys a quick update on the all-new, all-different Avengers issue 1 comic book review. Now, the review for that issue was supposed to already be up on my channel, but yesterday when I actually came to review it, I realised that I hadn't actually picked up the comic yet. So I've decided that I'll review that issue when All New, All Different Avengers issue 2 releases on Wednesday. So yeah, just a quick heads up on that. But anyway guys, let's jump into this review and get Secret Wars issue 7 out there. So kicking off the issue, we're joining the Prophet leading an army to Castle Doom to take down the God of Battleworld, also known as Doctor Doom. And what seems to have happened over the previous issues is that word has spread that Doctor Doom isn't truly a god. And if he's no god, then why should they suffer under his hand? So pretty much everyone on Battleworld is kind of forming a team, forming an army to take down Doom. And if I honestly have to say so, it kind of feels a little bit sudden. Like, what, 2 issues ago we weren't really doing any of this, and then 2 issues later, everyone is forming an army, and it kind of feels a little bit weird to me. Now, obviously, we've had the recent releases of All New, All Different, the Amazing Spider-Man comics, the Spider-Man 2099 comics, and all that crazy stuff. So we already know that the universes kind of get pulled back together, and not everybody is living in one universe at the end of this. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this craziness turns out. Now, as you can see on screen, the Prophet, who revealed himself as Maximus, didn't really last that long. We are then reintroduced to Sinister, who has kind of been in the middle the entire time. Like, we're not entirely sure which side he's on, but I absolutely love how he's got kind of like a bodyguard with a shade over him, you know, to make sure that he don't get caught in the sun. And I thought that was hilarious, just how he's kind of stood there in the middle of this battle with a shader over him. I thought that was just brilliant. But we also get this non-serious feeling coming from Sinister, almost like he doesn't truly care about Doom being a god or not. He kind of just wants to join the battle for the fun of it. Actually, now that I think about it, Sinister's sense of humour kind of reminds me of Ultron out of Avengers Age of Ultron. Just how even though he's being beaten, like right here he gets blasted in the back and his head decapitated. And as this is happening, he kind of just throws out a little bit of a joke and doesn't really take it too seriously. Now we get 2 names mentioned here, one of them is Apocalypse and the other is Baron. Now I'm not sure whether I'm getting this right, but I'm assuming that the purple and blue guy with the massive gun on his arm is called Baron. I might just actually be reading it wrong and assuming that that's a name, because I feel like I've heard the name Baron or the word Baron throughout the Secret Wars comics quite a lot recently, so maybe I'm just taking that like the wrong way or something, I don't know, but let me know in the comments below anyway, just in case. So we also discovered that the Thors haven't even turned up to the war yet. And of course, the Thors have been playing a major role in the Secret Wars comics because they are pretty much the police force for Doctor Doom. And we've actually flipped the page over onto there to go to their kingdom, and we can see that they are being persuaded and told the truth as to who Doctor Doom truly is, to say that he isn't actually a god. He's not even a god, he's not even a powerful being, and he shouldn't have any control over these guys whatsoever. And I think the best part about this is that the Thors actually go with the war to take down Doctor Doom. These guys are supposed to be protecting Doctor Doom, but they just straight up start taking everybody out and going after Doctor Doom themselves, and I thought that was awesome how that's kind of like the final betrayal to Doctor Doom. And it's going to be interesting to see what role the Thors play in the final 2 issues of Secret Wars in the coming weeks. Actually, a quick update on the word Baron. I don't think that it's a name. I actually believe that it's another term in use of guard, you know, like the bodyguard of Doctor Doom, because they are the Barons of Castle Doom, so maybe that makes a little bit more sense. So yeah guys, sorry about the confusion earlier. Now something that I didn't expect to see is that we actually get an army of maestros coming down into the war to take down the god of Battleworld. And I love how it's just a bunch of different species, you know, like a bunch of different kingdoms, a bunch of different sectors of Battleworld are kind of all coming together because they've all come to this realization that this god that they think watches over Battleworld is kind of just a guy with too much power, and they all want to take him down for the same reason. Surprisingly, we don't actually see Thanos or Ben Grimm from the Fantastic Four, because if you remember at the end of the previous issue, Thanos actually spoke to the Thing, aka Ben Grimm, and he rose up out of this abyss to take the fight to Doctor Doom, and we never actually see him in this issue, and we don't see Thanos either, so hopefully we'll see him in the next issue, or the final issue of Secret Wars, which is issue 9. Obviously, we can't forget that Reed Richards and Ultimate Reed Richards pretty much had a plan from the very beginning when they discovered that Doom became God of Battleworld. And of course, we can see Black Panther on screen, and if you remember, he actually has the Infinity Gauntlet right there in his hand. And we get quite an emotional moment between Black Panther and Reed Richards when they're actually saying if this doesn't go to plan, then this is going to be the end. And Black Panther lays it off perfectly at the end by saying that death is just a different journey to where we're supposed to be. And we get like this awesome vision of Black Panther overlooking his army in Wakanda, and then Black Panther moves on with his mission. And I thought that was just really touching and really awesome for them to include it in the comic. Now right here we see Black Panther blow up the wall that separates the living from the dead. Very similar to that massive cliff drop that actually had the zombies, and I think it was the Ult Ultrons or whatever they were. You know those mechanical robots that were like destroying the zombies? I can't exactly remember what they were, but they basically were Ultrons. And what Black Panther's pretty much doing is he's recruiting the dead and leading them into battle against Doctor Doom to bring him down from his godlike throne once and for all. And the way Black Panther persuades them to do this is by saying that they will regain glory and honor by taking on this battle, and I think that's just awesome. And of course everybody agrees with it and they're all going to go to war, but that is where the issue ends, frankly. And that was actually a rather surprising thing, because for the first time in these Secret Wars comics, I've actually not wanted it to end. Like, usually you get like an awesome cliffhanger or something like that, but this time, for me, it just ended abruptly, and I really didn't like that, because I just want to know what happens. And of course, it's really awesome seeing Black Panther in this comic, especially because he's in the new Civil War movie, and he looks like a total badass in that, and I cannot wait for it to release. But until then, we're just going to have to put up with him in this Secret Wars comics. So guys, what did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm giving this issue an 8 out of 10. I can't wait to see how the Infinity Gauntlet is going to be used, and I can't wait to see Reed Richards and Doctor Doom go into battle together and see what Spider-Man is going to play a role in that. But that is the end of the video, guys. So if you want to go to the links in the description, follow me on Twitter and Facebook for all the latest in comic book news and updates. You can also get updates on my videos there as well, and of course if you follow me on Instagram, then you get to see what I'm doing in my free time when I'm editing these videos. And last but not least, hit the subscribe button for more, hit the like button on this video, and I will see you all later.